Hello everyone. So we will see our third tutorial now, that is creation of abstract model file. So in CAENexus workflow, analysts they create a file which we call it as the abstract model file, and this role we call it as the authoring role. So in authoring role, the first step is to create classes. Now why we need classes? Maybe I'll quickly give you some more information. So in traditional workflow, analysts, they are either making use of geometry or they are making use of mesh to specify the physics. For example, if analyst wants to specify the boundary condition, then they'll either use geometry or they'll use mesh. This is what they do in traditional approach. But in CAENexus workflow, analysts they make use of classes to specify the physics. So this is the major difference between the traditional workflow and CAENexus workflow. Let's now see how one can create classes in CAENexus. Once you launch CAENexus, then this is the user interface one can see. Now we have already talked about this user interface in earlier tutorial. So now we'll directly see how one can create the classes. Now there are two ways by which one can create the classes. So first is the manual way, that is manually one can create the classes. And second is one can directly import the CAD parameters or the classes in CAENexus. So in earlier tutorial, we have seen how one can directly import those classes from the CAD. So in this tutorial, we'll now see how to create the classes manually. To create classes, one need to go here in the class icon, then click on create. You can see here there are some options available like volume, surface, curve and point. So one can create the class of volume type or surface type or curve type or point type based on the requirement. So I'll just click on volume here. Then it will ask me for the name. So I'll just write fluid here and I'll click on OK. So you can see here in this window, fluid class has been created. Now what exactly the class is? So the classes are the entities which does not have any specific shape but has some kind of dimension. So you can see here we created a fluid class, but we are not sure about how exactly it looks. We are not sure about what is the shape of this class. But what we know is it has a 3D dimension, that is it belongs to volume type. So classes are the entities which does not have any specific shape but has some specific dimension. Now one can keep on creating the classes based on requirement. Maybe I'll quickly show you one more class, that is I'll again go in the create, I'll go in the volume, I'll give name as solid and I'll click OK. So this way I have created another volume type of class. Maybe I'll quickly show you how to create a 2D class, that is a class belonging to surface type. So I'll go here in the class, create, I'll click on surface, I'll give name as inlet underscore 2D and I'll click OK. So you can see now inlet underscore 2D class is created with 2D dimension. So this way one can create the classes as per their requirement, and this is the manual way of creating the classes. You can see here now I have created all other classes manually. Again, as I said, there are two ways by which one can create the classes. So first is the manual way, second is one can directly import the classes from the CAD geometry. So in earlier tutorial we have seen how to import the classes from the CAD geometry. So it is recommended to import the classes from the CAD geometry so that analysts they'll save some time and they will not have to create the classes manually. Let's now create a relation. So basically relations those are needed when one is interested at the common entities of two classes. So let's see how to create the relations. So for relation, again, we need two classes. So I'll just select two classes here with control key. So I'll just select fluid and solid. Then I'll go in the class relation, create with classes. So you can see here a relation between fluid and solid class is created. Similarly, one can create the relation with the same class. So I'll just select fluid here and I'll just go again in the class relation, create with classes. So you can see here relation between the same class is created. So these are the relations between volume and volume class. So similarly, if somebody wants to create a relation between volume and surface class, then one can do that in a similar way. For example, I'll just select here fluid and maybe 2D class as inlet underscore 2D. Then I'll go in the class relation icon, create, and then with classes. So you can see here the relation between fluid and inlet 2D, that is the relation between a volume class and surface class, is created. Now, the dimension of this relation, that is relation between volume and volume class, is 2D dimension because the parent classes, that is fluid and solid, those are having 3D dimension. So the common entities would have the 2D dimension. So these relation will have 2D dimension. But if you see here, this relation, that is relation between your volume class and surface class, then it will not have any specific dimension. In fact, the common entity would be a face use facing towards your volume class. So this way, one can create any number of relation based on the requirement. Now the attribute which are supported on 2D dimension or the attribute which are supported on the face use, those can be specified on these relations. Once done with the creation of classes and relation, we will see now how to create the attributes. Again, as I said earlier, in CAENexus workflow, analysts they make use of classes and relation to set up the physics with the help of attributes. So you can see here, this is the attribute window and there are four tabs here. First one is meshing, second one is solution strategy, third one is problem definition, and fourth one is the output. So under meshing, one will specify all the attributes related to meshing. Under solution strategy, one will set up the attributes which will decide what kind of analysis they want to do. Under problem definition, your boundary condition, initial condition, maybe material related details. So those kind of things will come here. And in output tab, the attributes related to what kind of output you want, maybe elemental or the nodal output. So those attributes or those details will come here. Let's now create one attribute related to meshing. So for that, I'll first go in the meshing tab. Then I'll just select the relevant class here. So I'll just select size A here. Then I'll go in create. Then I'll click on mesh size and I'll click on absolute. So this way a mesh size attribute editor will get open. Now I can give any name here, maybe size A size. Then I can specify the mesh size here. Maybe I'll just put 10. and I'll click on apply and close. So this way I have created a mesh size attribute with the help of size A class. So now you can double click on this attribute and you can just see the details. You can modify it based on your requirement. This way one can create the attribute with the help of classes. Now one can delete the attribute also. For that one need to click on the attribute, one need to click on the delete. So this way one can delete the attribute. Similarly, one can delete the classes of the relations also. For example, if I want to delete this class, then I'll just right click on it and I'll just click on delete. Please note that if you are deleting a class, then relevant relation will also get deleted. For example, if I'm deleting this inlet 2D, then the corresponding relation will also get deleted. For example, let's say I'm deleting this. So you can see now that relation is no more present. So this way one can delete the classes relation or the attribute based on the requirement. So this way one can create the classes, relation and attribute and can set up the physics in CAENexus workflow. So this role we call it as authoring role, which analysts they are going to do it. So that's all from this tutorial. I thanks everyone, and if you have any queries or question, then please feel free to contact at support@novusnexus.com and we will get back to you accordingly. Now in next tutorial we will see how to create other meshing related attribute. Till then, have a good day. Bye.